6 ways to overcome the imposter syndrome. So now you've found out that you're suffering from the imposter syndrome. You've discovered some of the reasons why, or maybe you might not even know why you're suffering from the imposter syndrome. Now, what are some of the ways in which you can overcome this feeling? You know, the feeling of phoniness, the feeling of being a fraud. How can you overcome it? Assess the situation that you're in and put things in perspective. Now, how you can do this is you can write down the things you're good at and also write down the things that you struggle with. For example, as a trainer, one of the things that I would like to work on is, my speech giving skills. You get? So instead of, brushing off and deciding that I am an imposter and I cannot do speeches, or I cannot stand in front of people, I can sit down and write on one side what are the things that I'm very good at where that is concerned, and on the other column I can write, okay, what are the things I struggle with? Do I struggle with standing in front of people? Do I struggle with coming up with points that are relevant? Or am I good at coming up with stories? What assessing my abilities objectively. And you can do this by, you can take it a notch higher by having someone who's close to you or someone who's in your field look at the things that you're good at and even encourage you what are some of the things you can work on to make you better, to improve your skill set, and also to improve your expertise. Also, you can refocus on values. We are growing in a generation where we are so fixated on success, where we are forgetting what our values are. So you can focus on values and say, what are the values that are important to me? So that if I am invited for a job and this, I can clearly see where the values of this company is concerned, I can say no. Or I can say, yes, these are people who I resonate with because their values are the same as my values. Get out of your head. Another point of how you can deal with the imposter syndrome is get out of your head. Now, for many of us, we rehearse and rehearse over and over scenarios when we are required to do something. So I've been invited in a school to do a speech and I'm thinking, this is what I'm going to do. And then I start rehearsing on some of the things that can go wrong, the failures. And I get into my head so much so that I discover that I am a failure before I even began. So another way is to get out of your head and just focus on what you're supposed to do. Another way is to be compassionate to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You'll be so surprised at how we give people an benefit of doubt, but we don't do the same for ourselves. So be kind to yourself, be compassionate. Even, let's say for example, you do something that you thought you would succeed in and you fail miserably at it. Be kind to yourself, be compassionate. Objectively, assess how the situation is. For example, there are instances where you go to give a speech and I'm telling you, you have everything written down, or I am going to do a training and I am so sure this training will go so well because of the content that I have to share with the people. Then I enter the place and I discover the mood is so off. Maybe something has happened and I'm in a school setting and I'm going to train teachers, and I enter and I discover maybe they had been given some news prior to the training, and of course they are not in the mood of this training at all. What do? So I cannot sit back and say that I'm a failure. No, it's the circumstances that are causing the training to be so difficult. So be kind to yourself and be compassionate. Keep failure in perspective. As I like to look at it, I say failure is not fatal. Really, I don't know, unless you're in the medical field where it means someone's life and death, that is something different. But for most entrepreneurs, for most people who are in business, failure is not fatal. just be kind to yourself, as I've said before. Just look at things objectively and say, what is the reason, what are some of the causes, what are some of the reasons why I failed in this particular instance. How come me and the manager or the person who has called you did not resonate or did not agree on the course of action? So be open-minded to realize that failure is not fatal. Seek trusted feedback. Okay, so ask people to give you feedback. Once you've done a training, once you've done an engagement, I've trained a child, it's okay for me to sit back and inquire from the parents, maybe, like what did they think of the training, what did they think of the course, have they seen transformation in their child, or what are some of the challenges, the new challenges that have cropped up that you can deal with. So seek trusted feedback. I know it's something that is not easy to do, because you're like, what if the people who I'm seeking feedback from did not like what I did? But it's okay, because it will help you to improve and become better at what you do.